Friday, January 19th, about 3 p.m. Once again, got in an early day's work, so got started early so I could get my work out of the way so that I could take on this project. So got a special mission planned for today, or should I say tonight. This will be an all-nighter. Gonna head down to San Diego. So currently solo on the boat. It's gonna be about 100 miles or so down to San Diego. We're gonna go down to Shelter Island, and that's probably gonna take us in the neighborhood of 18 hours or so. Could take us a little bit longer, but that's the plan. So right now I'm solo. If I find someone crazy enough to jump on the boat and help crew and help me get the boat down there, it would be awesome. But you know, there aren't too many places where you can find fools to jump on board. So right now it's just us. So I see the fuel gauge saying 7.4, about 74%. It's not calibrated, so 74 means we should have enough to get to San Diego, but we'll want to pick up fuel somewhere down in San Diego. For the trip back, we've got enough to make to San Diego and back, but my preference is to have a little bit more gas in the tank. So we will be fueling up in San Diego before. Looks like visibility could be a little better. A little warmer than the last time I was out. I'm sure it'll get cooler as the sun goes down, but a little hazy. We might be looking at some rain tonight, later. We'll just deal with it. Sea state's not going to be a problem. Wind's not going to be a problem. If anything, we're going to have a little wind on the nose. This might be a bottlenose. Might be a common dolphin. Not probably a starboard spring. Okay. Cat Express is pretty much laying it down in the harbor. They're moving pretty good. It's actually the Super Express, and they're moving 25.7 knots. All right, so I think I do have someone crazy enough to join me on this adventure. Only a true friend. So we're gonna pick up Andy from Sailing Vessel Stoked. He'll probably be at his boat in Long Beach, so we're gonna go down to Parker's Lighthouse. There's a public dock there, and we're gonna do a touch and go and pick him up. Then we're gonna start heading down to San Diego, and the goal is to get it outside of the LA Harbor Long Beach Basin before it gets dark out, and then we'll try and get a little bit of sea room, and then we're gonna head straight down non-stop to San Diego. CMA CGN Dutch Harbor here at anchor, spewing black smoke into the atmosphere. Of course, what the hell am I doing, right? Slight change of plans. Andy is stuck in traffic, so we may be a little bit, we have a little bit of a time change, I think, picking him up. So we're gonna head into Shoreline Marina and see if the fuel dock's open. Hopefully we can tie up and pick up fuel. So this is Queen's Gate behind us. You always see Angel's Gate, LA Lighthouse. That ugly little rectangular Roblox looking thing. That's Queen's Gate. You see the range markers there. We're a little past them right now. The little kind of blaze orange striped lights on them. So you use that as a signal to make a straight approach into Queen's Gate. We're gonna turn to port here in a minute and get around these rocks. The Queen Mary's over there. You can see the smokestacks barely by that big dome to the left of that big cruise ship that's over there. So I bought my last boat, the Dana 24, at Shoreline Marina up here in Long Beach. I've not actually been here with this boat, so a little bit of a first, but we're looking at the cruise ship, the Carnival Radiance, over here to port. And you can see downtown Long Beach And this island right here, as well as this island, that island, I believe there's 4, the dead astronaut islands. They're all named after astronauts that have passed away. So this is Island Grissom. This is Island White. You can anchor on the weekends or get a mooring Island White. I forget the names of the other 1 or 2 islands that are here. So Shoreline's kind of built right up to the island, up to Grissom Island. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut through the entrance and over to starboard. Allegedly there's a fuel dock, and we are going to see if we can go in and tie up at the fuel dock and pick up diesel. If it doesn't work, no big deal. We got plenty of fuel to get down there. Sounds like Carnival Radiance is effing off and getting ready to head out. A little better viewing point of the Queen Mary. Not far from the Carnival Radiance. Queen Mary is locked in. She doesn't go anywhere. So you see this breakwater behind us, and then kind of a narrow entrance here. Island Grissom to starboard. We've got the breakwater here to port. We're gonna cruise around to starboard, all the way on the kind of the opposite end of the island here to get to the fuel dock. So they have like oil rigs on all these islands, and I think it was in the 60s one of the designers for Disneyland put a facade on these islands with the palm trees and designed the structure around whatever this big drill or well is, and then they put colored lights on them and things like that. Kind of interesting. And there's the Shoreline fuel dock up ahead of us. Doesn't look like these guys are open, so we may be heading back over to Parker's. Google tells us they're open till 5. The closed sign on the front of the Shoreline dock says otherwise. So we're going to bounce over to Parker's Lighthouse, the public dock over there. Just won't take long to get there. Go ahead and throw that down, and I've just got one line since we've got pretty calm here. All right, good timing for Andy. Just pulled up and just tied up a line, and Andy's here. We're ready to bounce. This is Parker's Lighthouse, and we got a little wind pushing us towards the dock-ish. We're actually gonna, we got prop locks, we're actually gonna back up this way and see if we can't turn around, go into reverse. So I've got reverse now, and then just try and keep the bow off. You could probably almost jump on the boat, dude. I would say now's a good time. How are we doing? Near the dock. Great. Look at how easy this is.
Yeah, when there's no
we're just getting started. There's plenty of room to fuck up.
Between when there's no other fucking knuckleheads here. This dock is notorious, dude. Everybody that rents a boat, charters, comes here.
Pretty good timing. So it's about 4:45. 511 is officially sunset. It's cooling off a little bit. We've got Andy up front, coiling lines. We just need to turn on the nav lights here and we're kind of good to bounce. A little bit of wind, actually.
I know.
There wasn't anything when I came out. 7 knots. We'll put up the main and stuff once we get situated.
Nav and what else?
Nav lights and the steaming light. Come on, Barbie, let's go party. Okay, that's good. I know.
Hey, good evening. We got the cruise ship outbound. If you can move a little more to the east, you're right in the middle of the channel. You go a little bit more downwind to the east.
Alright.
Thank you. Just the cruise ship's got a security zone. And they basically need to see way out on the starboard, right in the middle of the channel. A little bit more to the east.
Alright.
And you the cruise ship's got a security zone, and they basically need to see way out on the starboard, right in the middle of the channel.
Alright, we're getting yelled at by the pilot boat because this cruise ship is right behind us while we were screwing around, which we got plenty of room here. We'll get out of the way.
We weren't out the gate 5 minutes before.
I know. So if you look at this boat, you tell me where the nav lights are. You actually see the bow lights red, and then we see some other red lights in various places, but then we have other lights which change colors. So we just saw a green one. Might be dance lights or something like that, but they've got all kinds of stuff. The CalReg says you can't have lights that interfere or cause confusion, you know, with your red and green standard nav lights. And they've got this all over the place on this cruise ship. Just an observation. We are trying to optimize for time. I'm pretty happy with the speed that we're getting. Under cruise 22 roughly RPMs and 7 knots. Bouncing a little lower with just this main up as we're motor sailing, so we are getting a push. I don't think we've got enough wind maybe to get us going as fast as I'd like without killing the engine. So we're going to keep the engine running because we are, you know, trying to get there during day and everything else, and we may have some south winds tomorrow that slow us down. So we're trying to take advantage of the wind and maintain good speed.
Locals, this is US Coast Guard Sector Los Angeles South.
Coast Guard Sector Los Angeles saying that a Falcon 9 is supposed to launch at 0615 local. That's it's not 0600.
No, not P. That's PM.
Did she say PM?
She said tonight 0600 P.
Oh, she said P? Okay.
P is in Paul.
So we've got a Falcon 9 launch in about, what, 10 minutes or so? So I'm off watch right now, but I'm going to get up and watch this sucker. All right, so this is the situation. We've got 1 minute till the Falcon 9 launches.
And we have order.
And I'm going to film it from my phone. That'll work better than the GoPro. So I'm kind of watching the launch. The Falcon 9, I don't know if they have Starlink satellites, but we're using Starlink to watch the video of the launch. And they're getting ready to launch here real soon, so I'm going to switch over to my phone. I am seeing a countdown hold here, and I might be because of visibility, although it's good for us right here. Good enough. So we'll see. That sucks. About 6:30. The challenge is when it's kind of early and you're off watch, it might be hard to sleep, but it's important that you try to sleep as much as you can when you're off watch. It's kind of your duty so that you're fresh when you come back up. So Andy's at the wheel until 9 p.m. We're doing 3-hour shifts. I'm looking here at the charts, and I'll just point out a couple things. Here's us here. Edith, Ellie, and Ellen are all oil platforms. So what we're doing here is we're actually in the northbound shipping lane, so we're going against the grain of traffic here a little bit. We may come inside of the shipping lanes here at some point, but we want to have enough distance between from these oil platforms. And then as we start to venture further south, I zoom out here, you can kind of see where the shipping lanes end, at least on the chart, and then follow it all the way down here to San Diego Light. All right, about 10 till 9. I did actually take a little nap, and it's my turn to get on watch here pretty soon. Take a look and see what we got going on here. We're almost, pretty close to the tip of Catalina, except we're not anywhere near Catalina. Don't see too many ships on AIS, just the CMA CGN Dutch Harbor, which we saw earlier at anchor. And we are about 58 miles, just a little under 58 miles down to the San Diego Light before we catch up. Cooking with keel dragger, sort of. We just got the Omni oven out, and I bought some El Pollo Loco chicken avocado burritos, and we're gonna heat those up a little bit in the Omni oven. All right, 3 a.m. It's time for my shift again. We're about 16 miles, I guess, from San Diego Light. All right, quick update. Probably won't be able to see that very well, but we're about 2.85 miles from our waypoint before we start turning around and doing a little bit of U-turn and heading up to San Diego. And just in the very distance, it probably looks mostly dark, but if I look way out there, I can see Mexico. This is Point Loma, off to our port. And we've got another hour, I think, probably before we're going to start seeing much light, which is almost about how long, hour and a half, and we'll probably be pretty close. We'll be inside of San Diego Bay at that point, San Diego Harbor. Okay, we're coming up pretty close. I can actually see it without it being lit. That blinking light right there is the SD Morse code. That's our SD whistle light. If there were fog, it would be doing the fog thing. Actually, I don't hear it. Now if I look in the distance, a little bit off the port, I see a red light blinking. We're gonna turn a little bit to port. I wanted to go on the outside of this light. We're gonna head towards that that red buoy, red light blinking, about 10 degrees to port, which you probably can't see. And then that's gonna be on the starboard side of the channel. Remember, red right return. So that's what we're gonna be aiming for till we get into the channel. All right, just about 6 a.m. It's almost Andy's shift, but we're gonna let him sleep in a little bit. So this red buoy right there is lighted buoy number 4. It's kind of a rapid blinking about 1 second apart, just slightly to starboard. That's going to mark the channel. So the buoys are going to be even numbered on the starboard side. And once we get down to this red buoy, number 4, or as we get in close, then we're going to turn to port towards San Diego. And what we should see is are some bright green lights, 2 of them, and those will be our range markers, and we'll talk about those as we see them. All right, so we made our hitch and we're headed straight down the pipe up to San Diego. And now if we look ahead, I can see some brighter green lights than others. Straight ahead a little bit to port. That's the range marker, so that kind of tells us where the range is. I can also see the red starboard buoy. That's the number 6. So we're in the channel. We're doing well. I'll take it a little bit to port here as we get close to the number 6. Yeah, when you're in the channel, so this is the number 6 over here to starboard, visible easily now with that light, and then we've got this green one over to port, which is the number this is the number 5. Flashing light with a period of 2.5 seconds. And if you look forward a little to starboard, there's a white light flashing about every second or so. That's marking Zuniga Shoals, so you want to stay off of that. So don't drive straight towards that white light as you're coming in the chute. So now straight ahead, slightly to starboard, you can see red number 8. And that's kind of parallel here with Zuniga Shoals. So see that white light? So that's marking Zuniga Shoal. And we're in the channel, and if I look over to port, I should see green 7. Right there, easily visible. No light on it yet. And I can see the range marker fairly well. Little fishing boat was fishing off of Zuniga, and we've got another boat. We've just crossed our bow over to port. So we're starting to see a little bit of traffic. So I see at least one sailboat over here off Zuniga. So a lot of, like, I'll say transients, liveaboards that really don't have slips or anything will anchor over here. And every time there's a storm, people get washed up on Coronado. Of course, there's no anchor light or anything on that boat sitting out there. There may not even be anyone on it, but people routinely come out here and abandon boats or have their boats washed up. I'd hate to anchor here because it's a boat graveyard. Yeah, there's actually quite a few boats out here on the other side of Zuniga Shoal. I don't even know how many. A dozen or so?
Yeah.
Quite a few. When the sailboat first came into view, there's Coronado Bridge back there.
0 anchor lights.
Yeah, 0 anchor lights. Light. So we got this power boat coming here, and he's kind of coming center channel here, maybe a little bit over on our side.
There's the red light.
Now I'm starting to see his port. So if this guy would have kept pushing us over, we would have hit the horn. 5 short blasts on the horn, which is the "what the hell are you doing?" But now we see red, so we're going to pass port to port. These guys rolling through. You got a little wake there. Tango. Over to port is the U.S. Navy nuclear sub base. I think they've traditionally had mostly Los Angeles class attack subs. I think they're putting in the new Virginia class here, in the process of transitioning out. So don't go over there or you'll get a visit. You can see that they've got it kind of penned off there. Likely have, they train dolphins in San Diego. They may have dolphins patrolling that as well. So there's no divers or saboteurs coming close. Yeah, I think that's one of the national security cutters. One of the big ones over there. And then, I don't know. I assume that's the ass end of a sub with some kind of covering on it in dry dock. And maybe all these little lights up there, I can't remember if it's Point Loma or Shelter Island, if that's where they train the dolphins to, you know. And I think the dolphins also patrol like around the carriers and stuff like that, as well as the sub pens. To get rid of a-hole divers and saboteurs. Over to starboard, that's I believe it's Naval Air Station North Island, Coronado Island. 0700. Shelter Island to port. Continuing to pass that. And then in just a little bit, we will turn to port. And we'll see if the fuel dock on this end of Harbor Island is open. So we'll do a drive-by there. Then at some point we're going to come around this way and our marina is going to be in here. So this is the America's Cup harbor here. I think that's Bali High, the restaurant. The yard that we're going to is over here to port. And then straight ahead is Harbor Island. And we're just going to do drive-by and see if the fuel dock there is open. If so, we will we'll get $300 or so worth of fuel. I don't know if there's a good fuel dock in here. I know like Pearson's and stuff on the other side of Shelter Island. We'll probably want to tie up the stern first. The prop block's going to want to take us out, so we'll see. Okay. Do you see that fuel vent right there?
Yeah.
Do you want to hold this at the fuel vent to catch? Just don't completely cover the
I gotcha.
So the air will vent out. But then as soon as you fucking see anything come out, give me a shout.
You got it.
Because you
don't want it continuing to come out.
It's nice having this Maritron fuel gauge. So it's not calibrated, so 0 is not 0, but 100 is pretty close to 100. So we are at 67%, and I'll look at and see how much fuel that was. I'm guessing we're going to take on 50 gallons or so. Could be more, could be 55. I'm a little tired, so doing the math. So now we're at 85, almost. All right, so I'm kind of bitching at Andy about not bitching at me. But here we are at the fuel dock. What else we have going on? Well, we still have our main up. There wasn't any wind. We just fucking sailed in. I told there because there was no wind.
Douse that main, bro.
There was because there was no wind. I didn't even feel it, but we should have doused this wind a little earlier. So we're gonna do that now before we leave the fuel dock.
I was gonna say
that's hilarious.
Maybe
So originally, the fuel gauge said 67%, which is not calibrated. We took on 68.3 gallons for a total sum fuel bill of $423.04. This powerboat shit's expensive. Zero there, I think it's a Hudson Force 50. German guy had a YouTube channel, I think Sailing Vessel Zero. I think maybe he sold this or he was selling it, but I heard that somebody slammed into it, I think here, and did damage to it. I don't see any really, but that dude's got like a 60-foot or 65-foot boat or something crazy like that now, maybe in Guatemala or somewhere around there. See where this sailboat is? Right through here.
Yeah, between those two powerboats.
I think we want to go through those two, in between those boats, and into that little spot in front of that sailboat on the other side.
Okay.
So just wanted to figure out where you wanted us to.
You're going to go in that crane basin. See right there, the crane basin right there?
Okay. Hold the stern back this way, Andy.
Go inside here. Where that blue gangway goes down.
Okay.
Let's park on that outside with the driveway. You can go there and inside right there.
Park on the port side this way?
Yes.
Okay.
All the way just right out that long little stretch right there with that yellow cabin right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna keep her hot just so I can get some steerage.
All right. You got good room. You're good.
Okay, neutral.
You're gonna port high up here, yeah?
Yeah. We'll use prop walk. We'll put the stern on first, probably.
Copy. You got quite a bit of room over there.
Just hang on to your bow line.
Yep.
Because you'll need to pull the bow in.
As soon as I can jump, I will.
You don't have to jump. This is a professional job, dude.
Look at that prop walk, just like a bow thruster.
Well, we're in neutral right now. We're just kind of coasting. All right, stern. You want to grab the stern line too. If you pull the bow, it's going to pull the stern out. You can probably go ahead and put the stern on. Just don't let go of the bow. Put the stern on up. Nope. Forward. This way. Backwards, I mean. On that one at least, at a minimum.
I can't get it. Fucker.
Okay. Here, you want to just hand it to me and then pull the bow in. So I can safely say we redeemed ourselves from sailing into the fuel dock with a pro landing here and tie up in this little constrained space, this little basin. But this is where they're gonna use that crane, pull the mast. We're in 102.2 nautical miles, and we're at 369.1. What's going on here? boats for sale. Cooking with Keel Dragger. We're gonna make these are actually cinnamon rolls made from scratch from a tube, and we're gonna cook them in the Omni oven, see how they work out. All right, coffee water's done, and this shit's got a little bit more to go.
Smells delicious.
What was that?
I don't know what the fuck was
I think that was this expanding because it came out of the fridge maybe. Oh. I didn't show the glaze. I didn't put all of it on, but just kind of lightly. Bottoms are slightly burned. Thanks to Andy for telling me that he smelled something burning. Otherwise, these suckers would have been completely scorched. Little overcooked on the bottom, but for me, I was gonna say that. I can still do that.
Eat that.